Hey friends, Kim Clinkenbeard here, and this is Stephanie's story. This is my friend Stephanie Evans, and she is part of my Mind and Body Transformation Program for women 40 and over. And she has got an amazing testimony, and I think it's really going to relate to a lot of y'all. I hear a lot of women share the same experiences with me. Not that they're all exactly the same, but there's elements to our struggle that are similar. And I think you're really going to be inspired to listen to what she has to say. So let's get started.
Okay.
So let's start off with what you saw and how you came to know who I was and what led you just to kind of reach out.
I was researching nutrition and on the website and in Facebook, and you popped up.
Okay.
And I was kind of interested in the smoothie thing. So you had that free smoothie book. And so I started dabbling in that. And then I know a mutual relative of yours.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. And I was like, oh, and then your husband helped my son with his Eagle Scout project. So yeah, I kind of knew everybody around you until I met you. Yeah.
Exactly. So what led you to start searching nutrition? What was going on that made you start kind of really reaching out and trying to solve a problem? What was the problem?
Well, I knew I wasn't eating right. I knew that I wasn't eating healthy. I didn't feel good. My body just didn't look good. I mean, it's not that I was just overweight and that kind of thing. It just didn't feel like it was healthy, and I didn't feel healthy. And so I thought, I've got to fix this.
And how is that impacting your life? Because she competes in horses and rides and trains and works with other animals as well, and is very active and a teacher. Mm-hmm. And so how was that affecting your life?
Well, I do a lot of obedience and agility with my dogs, which is a lot of running and a lot of walking, and then I'm riding my horse at a higher level in dressage, and I just didn't have the stamina. Even if working out and going to the gym and doing all the things, I just didn't have it in me with the stamina. My mental, I could push myself through, but in the end, I still felt bad. And I knew there had to be something else other than just going to the gym and working out and doing the things.
Yeah. And so when we're younger, we can kind of push through some of these things for a while and it not really affect us drastically. But as we get older, it catches up with us, and it takes a little bit more recovery. And it seems that the things that were working for us prior just no longer work. We're not able, mentally we might think we want to, but we're just not physically able to push through
not
that.
Not turning anymore.
Yeah. And so working through the different things that you had tried in the past that were now not getting you the results that you wanted, how did that make you feel mentally and emotionally? I know that there was a lot of when you're tired or you're not performing at the level that you have the capability of performing, that can really wreak havoc on, especially on us competitive. Maybe we're type A's, maybe we're a little overachievers, and we're used to, just having our irons in lots of different fires. So how do you feel like that was affecting you mentally, and then translating into, your day-to-day, your relationships and your interactions with others?
Well, it's really depressing.
Okay.
Not knowing, because I am a type A, and I was trying what I thought were all the things to be able to do it, and it just wasn't working. And I got a little angry at myself, why can't you do this? Why, what's your problem? Get out and do it more, because that's all you need to do. And it just wasn't working. So a lot of, and what's the point? My verbiage became, well, what's the point? You've tried this and you've tried that and you've tried this other thing over here, and nothing's working. You've tried harder. You've backed off thinking maybe I'm trying way too hard. And, it got to be, what's the point in even trying, because it's not working.
Yeah. And that's
sad.
It's sad, but it's defeating more
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
It's just defeating. And I've been there as well. And there's nothing worse than feeling like you want to do something and you have more inside of you to give that you can't get out.
Right.
And you don't know, you feel like you've tapped out all your resources.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And there is no answer. And that leaves you in a very defeated place mentally. Yeah. And that's where you were when you came to me.
When I sent you the email.
Yeah. And it was almost like I read it and I could hear your last ditch effort.
Pretty much.
Almost like if she doesn't say the right thing to me and offer the right thing, I'm just done. I just don't know. I just quit.
Yeah, I'd worked with a trainer. I'd worked, he was supposed to help me with my nutrition, and I thought, okay, this is going to help and this is going to be the best thing. And it didn't at all. And so I've been reading, since I got the smoothie book, I kind of did some more research on you,
Yeah.
You kind of do that. And I thought, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to contact her and just talk to her and find out, is she a fit? Because if it's not a fit, I'm not going to do it. Because, I've tried to do it with somebody, I've tried to do it by myself, and it's not working. So I thought, all right, I'm going to, pretty much a last ditch effort, let's see what this lady can do for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember her email was, I'm hitting send before I back out again.
Yeah.
So I could just see and envision her in my mind. And I try to envision each person before I talk to them. And of course I pray, before that I hear what they're telling me. I want to make sure that I don't think I already know what they're going to say, that I actually am listening and hearing each individual so that I know if I'm the right person to help them, because, we may not be a fit.
I know. Yeah.
And that's okay. That's why God made a bunch of different people, so, but, yeah, I remember reading that I'm hitting send before I back out again. And so I could envision Stephanie sitting at her computer going, nope, delete, backspace, backspace, backspace. And then just finally taking a deep breath and just hitting send before she could overthink it. And so I've been there, and that is a scary place to be. And it's a scary place to be because you don't know that you can get somewhere else.
Well, right, because I've already been defeated by so many other things that I was like,
yeah. But then on the flip side of that, because I'm all about perspective flipping, right? What do you have to lose at that point?
Well, and that was kind of the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So you finally kind of get to a point where you're like, you know what, just burn it to the ground. I mean, I'm almost burnt to the ground anyway. What's just a couple more inches? Let's just burn it what's the worst that can happen, So, so she did. And we've been working together for a while now. She joined the transformation program and has made some of the most significant progress, not just physically. I want to see physical progress, don't get me wrong, and all my ladies are making physical progress significantly, but I really want to see the mental, emotional, and spiritual progress. That's really where the money is. And so let's talk just a little bit about your experience in the program. I know that my program isn't the cheapest program on the planet. And so when you feel like you've spent money all over the place and nothing's worked, you're hesitant on doing that. Do you have any advice or comments on someone who is maybe like, on the money part?
What's different about your program is that you have the coaching calls and you're available and you answer emails or text messages or messenger or whatever we communicate on. And you seem available for whenever, whatever questions. When you're in the program, you can post something to the group and the group can answer some, which is so supportive. You are always right there saying, yes, no, try this, try that. If you're having a bad day, the group is there to help lift you up. Those weekly meetings is so, even though we're on Zoom, you feel like you know each other because you're sharing this emotional stuff where, normally I'm a rock and I'm not going to share it because I don't know these people, but everybody seems to be so willing to back you up and to support you. And that's the difference between everything else that I ever tried, is you've got this support group. Even though I had a workout group, you know, at the end of the day, we just went on our way. Whereas this is more of a support group for anything, not just nutrition, not just, you know, working out or your health. It's a life kind of support.
Yeah. And it's judgment free.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there is absolutely no one in there who's got it all together, because that person doesn't exist. Hallelujah. And, you know, and we start off slow too. So you only share what you're comfortable sharing publicly, but we share, right? We talk about it privately for sure. But, yes. And, you know, Stephanie has been she was an onion. We had to peel back some layers to get her to open up public or in the group. But then once she was in there and she saw what the other ladies were going through and how the group was really beneficial in helping them not just work through stuff, but like you said, lift them up and encourage them through the process and actually pray for each other in the moment. That's a big deal. That makes a huge difference. So she is one of the people who is a leader in the group now. Like she was saying, you know, you post questions there and they get answered in the group, because as we learn, we teach. Yeah. And we get to exercise those muscles and really ingrain these steps and these techniques and skills, and we're applying them in real life situations, but you get to share that knowledge and bring the others up too along the way.
Well, and you encourage us to do that.
Yes.
You're not just, you know, like a dictator. This is my thing. You want us to learn. You want us to give and share, because you want to see, are we growing? Are we going the right direction? Are we not? You know, you do that really well. And like, I can't remember what I posted, and you're like, try this instead. You know, this doesn't work because of this, so try this instead. So it's not like, you always give something else to, you know, go this route instead. And you're like, oh, I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
And I appreciate that you're open and you let us share, and, you know, you're supportive of everybody and everybody. And that's the biggest thing with this group to me, is that you can say some things that you're thinking, yeah, okay, they're going to just mute, or you're out. See you later. And you're not. You're welcomed, you're embraced, and you're loved on. And that to me is the most important thing, is knowing that I can say whatever, you know, if I'm feeling down or whatever, and they're going to lift me up. Yeah. We've all been there in some form or fashion. And so we can relate to what's going on. And to me, that's very, I don't know what the words to say, but very empowering to know that I can share something and they're going to, you know, help me figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that we're working on it together, and that it doesn't have to be a sentence, so to speak, or a backpack that you're just carrying all the time by yourself. You can pass it on to somebody else and let them carry it for a while. And while you're kind of working on some mindset strategies to help work through that and process it right. And Stephanie's been very, very good at doing the mindset stuff. I think that's probably been one of the most impactful parts. Yeah. And that translates. I mean, we learn the nutrition and the exercise and all the health things along the way, but I think for some of us, sometimes we get in our own way and we're dragging things from the past that were put on us. We didn't even come up with or create, but maybe someone else did, but we drag that along with us. And we're just like, you know what, if I could get rid of that, the weight just melts off. I mean, the energy just is exponential, and
to learn that it's okay to let it go.
Yeah, you don't have to carry it.
You feel bad that you don't want to carry it, but you feel bad if you let it go. And it's just like, you know, like I said with the group, and they're just like, let it go. Let it go. I'm like, you can do that? Yes, you can.
Yeah, and they all have different stories, and we all have different life experiences, but it all brings value. It makes your story have value and meaning, instead of it being something that is a destroyer in your life. It brings value because you're able to share with somebody else, and they're able to gain something from that, and it empowers someone else. So it takes a negative, hurtful, destructive thing and completely flips it and allows you to be empowered. And then it also, I love how God works.
Yeah.
He uses heartbreak and hurt and exhaustion and health difficulties and whatever else is going on, and makes it valuable in its own right to help somebody else, which, you know, is empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's my goal to obviously guide and teach and coach, but to let y'all come up with some of this too, because ultimately it's your life and it's got to look like what you and God want it to look like. And I don't necessarily know what that is, you know.
Well, that's something you talk about in the coaching calls, you know.
Yeah.
What do you think, like how we started this conversation, what do you how does that make you feel? Where do you think that'll lead? What, you know, you ask those open-ended questions where I have to think, and you're not just giving me the stuff that you think is going to work. You make me dig deeper to figure out what's going on, which is more helpful for me.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Absolutely, because it is something you can maintain that way.
Yeah.
You know, me being a dictator and saying you can do this and you can't do that, you can think this and you can't think that, might get you a result. That's basically what a diet is. It gets you a result for short term, but it doesn't teach you anything, and it doesn't empower you to make a change. It just, if you are either doing it or you're not, therefore you're either succeeding or you're failing. And it's my goal in the program to empower you to figure out, and on the fly, you have the education, the knowledge, the skills, the application that we've been practicing, so that you can navigate life. And this comes up and, okay, well, I know how to do this stuff. How can I apply it and tweak it? And maybe sometimes you need to be like, I need to hop back in the group, or I need more coaching calls to help me with this. And that's okay. That's how we grow and learn. But you're able to navigate these things on your own.
Yeah.
It is a lifestyle. It evolves, but you're in charge of it. It's your life. I've got enough to do. I don't want to figure out your life. I want to empower you so that you can make good decisions for your life.
Well, and like you said, this isn't a diet.
Yeah.
It's how to eat nutritionally with the foods that are available. And, you know, one of my favorite things that she says is own it. Because I'm a huge sugar person. And I don't eat it like I used to. I don't crave it like I used to, which is really surprising. And, you know, if there's a piece of pie and I'm like, I really want that, you know, I can own it and go, you know what? I'm eating healthy. I can do this. I can have the piece of pie and not feel guilty. That was the big thing that you said, just own it and just move on. And so that guilt wasn't weighing me down when I ate the piece of pie. Now, I don't eat the whole pie. I just eat the piece of pie.
Right.
But that to me was huge.
Yeah. That's life-changing in of itself, because we learn where our identity is and what our identity is. And our identity is not in food.
Right.
And it's not in our appearance. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't be a good steward of our bodies and our minds, but that's not where our identity lies. And so that's in Christ, and we work really hard at not just understanding that and knowing that here, but believing that here.
Right.
And there's tools and skills that we work through to do that. And that's what she's really talking about. We own our decisions that way. We're not at the mercy of our experiences or our environment or pie or our bad moods or feelings or hormones or whatever. Those things are, you know, coming, but they're also going.
Right.
And so we own our choices and we own our own lives that way. Yeah. Yeah, she's done. I'm super duper proud of you. I really, really am. It's been a fun journey, amazingly enough, you know.
And an empowering one.
Yeah.
You know, I felt good, you know, because you were there, you know, oh, I messed up. No, you didn't. Come on. Da, 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 you know.
Yeah.
You were there to say, oh, it was a mistake. You tripped. You can walk now.
Yeah. How can we use it to move forward?
Yeah.
We're always looking to reframe or use it to propel us in the direction we want to go, instead of it paralyzing us.
Yeah.
Or making us fall back into old ways and behaviors. So it is a true mind and body transformation.
Right.
But I think my favorite part is, Stephanie comes and she's got a picture of her dog on her as her screensaver. So she's always her bull mastiff, and it's always so funny to me. And so, but I love that she's always got something of value to bring to the mindset lessons. And it doesn't really matter what's going on in her life, because I may know what's going on behind the scenes, but I've gotten to witness you completely flip your perspective as you go. So we all kind of have our tendencies, right, to think certain ways, because that's been the pattern for probably 50 plus years. And so to see people backtrack and work through it as they're talking is incredible. And you've done that really, really well. She starts, her verbiage starts completely changing, and the way she processes the things that come in.
A lot of it has changed a lot. The way my mental about me and about things has really changed to the positive.
Yeah. And I love to see when she does pop on camera, it's such a difference in her face, and you've just got a glow about you. Your eyes are clear. It's just a shine, just a joy, a radiate. It's fun to see. It's fun to watch, and I'm proud of you. You've done so well, and I'm so proud of you, and I appreciate all that you put back into the group with the ladies that are coming behind you, because that really makes a huge difference, not just for them, but for you too.
Oh yeah. That I can share something that I've been through this. Hear me. You'll survive this. Or
Yes.
Hey, this is what I found out to do. Or this is what Kim told me to say.
Well, yeah, maybe so. But people make it their own, and tweak it and mold it into what fits for them. And I love seeing all of that. So moving on, let's do you have something that you want to leave with someone who is, maybe they've tried everything. Maybe they've spent thousands and thousands of dollars and tried every diet in the world, and they're still addicted to sugar, and they're still stuck, and they're still feeling icky in their own bodies, and like they can't be the person they know they are. Do you have any words of encouragement for them, or anything that you would like to say to your old self? We do a lot of that kind of stuff too, but is there something that you would have said to yourself to make you feel a bit more secure in reaching out?
Hit send earlier.
Yeah, hit send earlier.
This is not a normal, group of, I'm going to teach you how to eat. And it's not really, for those of you that don't want to be in a woman's group, it's not really a woman's group either, because you're doing it on your own, but you've got somebody here that you can tell your deepest, darkest to, and she helps you work through those. And and you're like, oh, I never thought about that. Oh, I never thought you learn things and you grow. I mean, I'm closing in on 60, and I wish I would have, like I said, hit send earlier, because it's very supportive. There's nothing scary. It might be pricey, but it's so worth it, because you get so much more out of it other than nutrition, or this is how you exercise, or this is how you take care of your health. There's so much more. And even if you didn't attend the group, which I would not recommend because it is so awesome, you still get so much out of it. And the ladies that are in there, we're all walks of life. We all have our experiences, and we share, and you learn stuff, and it makes you go, oh, she's been through that. I can get through this. Yeah. So I definitely, if I meet somebody, I let them know that, hey, she's not just talking the talk. She's actually talking the talk, walking the walk. She knows what her stuff is. Because, joining it, I was like, okay, let's see. Yeah. And it is. She she's there to support you 100% and help you out through whatever. And I think that's the most important thing when you're looking to change. And like I said, I've tried all the things, and I'm going to hit send because this is my last ditch effort. And I'm so glad I did, because it is a mindset, but it's not drilled into you. It's week by week. Try this, try this, try that. And it works, and sometimes you slide, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about it, is that it's okay. Just try again, try again.
Yeah. It's built into the program. Yeah. To allow. So it's your program.
Yeah.
And you work it as aggressively. Some weeks it's aggressive, and some weeks it's like, you know what? I'm sliding this week. I'm just going to coast and work on what I've already established, and then pick, up another nugget later. But I'm very proud of Stephanie. You've done amazing. It's been a huge blessing to me to have you in the group and get to know you and all that you're about and what you bring to the world and offer. And yeah, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And so anyway, if any of you have been thinking or struggling or watching for a while, and you're just like, oh, I'm just scared, I'm afraid she's gonna, make me do something, y'all, we're old enough, we're grown adult women, we can make our own decisions. I'm not talking you into anything at this point, right? So just shoot me a message, send me a direct message, or raise your hand in the comments or something like that, and say, hey, I'd like to visit with you a little bit, and we'll just see if we're a fit, see if if nothing else, I can give you a little direction. But y'all, I want you to give some celebration and claps for Stephanie, and not just all that she's accomplished over the last few weeks, but all that she overcame to hit the send, because that is a big deal. It's vulnerable, and it's scary, and it's an investment. It's an investment in yourself, and it's worth it. It makes
Definitely.
a big difference.
Definitely.
So, love you guys. Anything else you want to add?
No, ma'am.
I think we're
She's
good.
awesome.
Well, so are you. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to y'all later. Bye.